All right, guys. Done with the overview, so I'm gonna try to give you some advanced to intermediate tactics. Things that you probably won't learn in your first time playing the game. Things that you wish you would pick up sooner. I'm gonna try to give you some of that stuff for you. So let's see, what can we talk about? Let's talk about gathering. Okay, with gathering. I didn't notice immediately, but with gathering, you see how it has helpers, but then it has someone who does the main work. What does that mean? Uh, whoever is in the biggest box is like the main person who is doing the work, and these people are helpers. Also, quickly, no matter who you put in here, the game thankfully automatically puts whoever the highest. So this person is 15. She will always be in the front. I take her out and I put her back in. She is always in front. So that's something you never have to worry about. But what does all that mean? When you put someone in here, whatever their ability is times 10, and you get that many points to it. So her is 150 because she has 15 gathering. This is gathering. Give me an even number. Let's put this guy, Niebuhr. If I put him in there, he gets 60. 60 points per turn to complete this task. But the way helper thing works is if they are a helper, you only get half their benefit. So remember, this guy, he was getting 60 because it's six gathering. Because he's a helper, it's going to go by half. So half of 60 is 30. So you should see this thing increase by 30. So I'm going to put him in there, and it should be 180, which is right here. So helpers, you only get half benefit. So how is that practical information? When I started this game, I figured if I wanted to get a lot of resource, say like in the beginning, I like to make pastures. And pastures require a lot of wood. When you first start the game and if you want to spam them, you're gonna need way more wood than you need food. So a lot of time when I was beginning to learn the game, I'll just like pump people, pump people, pump people. Just put them in wood. I need wood. I need wood. But until I learned how helpers was. So let's say if I have like two people who are really good in wood, I kind of not want them both doing the same node. So I'll start a game and I'll have wood inside, and I'll have someone come out here and get some wood out here. So I have one person come out the village and do wood, and one person get wood inside the village, and it is so much more efficient instead of just throwing my two beginning crafters on wood or whatever difficulty you play on, how many you get. But instead of just piling them all in one. With that being said, there's much advantage of finding nodes where you can get many stuff. Let's see if I can find a good example. Say like if my only goal was wood and this spot was like close to my village. Look at this. This hexagon is surrounded by three sources of wood. So let's say I just if it's just a few walks away from my village, I can make them camp here and have them going to three sources of wood, which would be way more efficient than just putting everyone in wood up in here inside of my village. So that's one thing to think about is efficient gathering. One thing I like to do after I get up and going is I try to find a spot where I can get a lot of materials at. What did I do in this game? I know I did that wood. I think I came over here and I was getting wood and this stuff while I had someone getting in wood. And I'll leave that camp there for a very, very long time. And while I'm doing that, I'll have my warrior party come out here and do some scouting and killing and slaughtering, it just so I can defend them, so they can do that peacefully. Another quick thing I'll say about gathering. I don't know how relevant this information will be in the future because it's kind of OP. But this is something a lot of people love to do is to make. Where are you? These things right here, gathering twos. Gathering twos help you gather more. It gains a gathering stat. But when you make this item out of very good materials, you get a very, very, very good. Let me do it on another screen. You get a very, very good stats on it. And fortunately, these two items can be getting very quickly. Wicker and spider silk. If you use those two to make gathering tools, you get 5 gathering, which is over here. I don't have any resources, but you make gathering tools very early, and it can kind of skyrocket your economy. And all you have to do is research wicker. I like to research spider silk just so I can get spider silk at the same time. But a lot of people just get wicker and they go hunt. They go hunting. They go hunting for spiders, and they'll kill every spider mob they see quickly as possible. And if they get a spider's nest, they leave them open so they can farm the spiders that come out. So yeah, gathering tools, getting them early with the recipes that they are being so easily accessed to get OP items is another advanced tactic that a lot of people like to use. All right, another thing let's talk about is movement. And I'm sorry with this video, I'm not going to be illustrating as much because I kind of want to keep this playthrough, and you can't have more than one save. But let's use our imagination. With movement, you move. Some of these terrains require you to move twice over. Like these mountains in this rugged area, it'll take 2 turns to move around. And in cold areas, I don't see any snow. Snow, it would require 2 moves to go through. So you move slower when you're going over mountains and when you're going over snow. Why is that important? The reason it's important because you kind of want to utilize your time. Because another thing about this game is it has the day and night cycles. Now, what does the day and night cycles do? The day and night cycle, for one, when it's nighttime, I'll just kind of have quote the developer. It goes by the lore. This world was surrounded in darkness, and that's when all the evil is about. And now that it's day, life is kind of coming back. Basically, in the daytime, it kind of fights back the darkness. But when the nighttime comes around, all these monsters are going to attack. So what does that mean practically? During the daytime, like right now, I'm freely moving. Is this a party I have? I'm freely moving around. And there's a low chance for these monsters to come attack me. They will move. Sometimes they'll randomly move and they'll bump into me and they'll start a fight or whatever like that. But they won't attack me. And so when the daytime comes is when you need to be doing, stuff that you kind of want to urgently do. Say like when I started this game, I wanted this. So as soon as morning came, I rushed over here and went back, which is not a big of a deal. But when I wanted to get the spider silk over here, I wanted to start my trek in the morning and hopefully get here and so I can set up camp and be in a good spot because I didn't want to be moving around at night, just aggro and everything, letting everything come at me. Yeah. So, but when night falls, a lot of these mobs will start hunting you and searching you and trying to find you. And when they see you, they will attack. So Yeah, keep movement in mind. Another thing with movement, if you attack something or start a challenge with something, it costs a turn. So let's say if I moved here and I bumped into this, or scratch that. Let's say if I wanted to get home, and the game, when you click to somewhere to go, it's gonna click the shortest distance. But it's not going to factor in that you're going to have to fight your way through. So let's say if the shortest distance was from here to here, uh, the game is going to make me go through here, and there. But let's say I have mobs along the way, I'll have to fight my way through, and it'll actually be way shorter because I lose a turn every time I attack them, especially if they're in a rugged area. Say there was a monster right here, and I wanted to move here, I will have to attack him, and it'll cost me 2 turns instead of one. And then after I kill him, then I'll move, and then I'll only have 1 turn left. So this whole moving from here to here could cost me 4 freaking turns. So keep that in a mind when you're moving and you're trying to utilize your time. Because like I say, this day and night cycle is a lot of aspect of the game, especially in higher difficulties. What else? Uh, Being attacked. Also with the day and night cycles. With the card game and this game in general, is superior in numbers. So, especially in the early game, you kind of want to come back to your village because soon as night time comes, you don't want all these mobs hunting you down, especially at night. Because if it's at nighttime, you can't see. If this was night right here, I would not be able to see these guys. So I cannot attack them. They can attack me. But what does that mean? When you attack someone, you get options. I was, I can do that. Guess I can't. Oh, it's bottle turn night. Maybe I can show you real quick. But let me do this real quick. So I'm attacking him. So I get all these pretty options. I can fight him. I can go hunting. I can go sickness. If you saw some of my earlier videos and just basic understanding the game and just reading forums, everybody hates fighting. Fighting is so risky. If you fight, you risk wounding wounds and losing people. So you want to do all this other stuff. That doesn't happen if a monster bumps into you. So let's say if it's nighttime and these monsters are searching for me and I'm like moving around doing my things, I can't see them. But let's say one of them spots me and he runs into me. What would that do? That will start a fight challenge every single time. So I don't. So let's say if I have this these guys, this was like a hunting expedition. I have people who are good at hunting, and I'm hunting monsters, whatever like that. And then nighttime comes, and all of a sudden the monsters are hunting me, and it's starting a fight challenge. And none of these guys are like warriors. You know, you have your hunters and your gatherers as good hunting party. All of a sudden, I'm put into a challenge that I'm not good in, and which will cause me to lose people. So yeah, be mindful of the nighttime. Try to always fight the enemy on your terms. And in order to do that, you have to play according to the day and night cycles. All right, let's talk about experience and research points. The bulk of your experience will be from doing challenges. So a lot of challenges is just killing mobs, whatever. So a lot of times I start the game. I like warrior start, but that's just my preference. And I just go find a whole bunch of stuff to fight and hunt and sickness, whatever, like that. And that's how you get a lot of how you get experience doing these, killing these mobs, or going here to these random quests to get experience. And you get some little bit of research. Why is that practical? Because a lot of times people kind of want to turtle, or they won't keep busy. Like they'll be doing a lot of crafting and doing the stuff, random stuff, and they'll have people sitting inside the base doing anything, or all gathered on that node. If you do that, you won't, get experience, and a lot of your people won't be getting stronger. Uh, so you kind of like just want to keep busy, want to keep on the move, and so I always try to have like at least one expedition that are good at just dealing with the stuff, the threats that are around my village, not really just for the sake of keeping everyone safe. Is I'm just trying to level some guys. Like this group right here, I got them just leveling up, attacking stuff, and going on random quests that I'm able to do. With research, you get more research from crafting. Say like, let's go to cloth. When you make something, you get research points, but you only get research points if it's a good material. So let's say if I add something that's not a common tier 1 material, I get some research points. I put both in there, I get 11 points. Huh. That's something I didn't really recognize. It's more efficient to just do one spider silk instead of two. But anyway, you get research points for crafting. So a lot of people would do what I like to do is I get a whole bunch of spider silk and just start spamming making stuff, even though I don't need it. I don't really keep a big village, so I'm not gonna have 30 people who are gonna want some spider silk, which is actually not that strong. But I just do it for the sake of getting the research points, so I can just quickly get to some of these higher tier materials or get some recipes that I want to make stuff, whatever like that. The point is, when I started this game, and I assume a lot of people did, is to play kind of frugal because a lot of this stuff is rare. Um, like these metals, I don't have metals research, and I don't have these leathers research, and I kind of want to hoard all this stuff because that's my play style in various other games, but hoarding stuff kind of holds you back. So kind of you want to keep crafting, even if it's trash stuff. You want to keep crafting. You want to keep turning out stuff so you can get these research points. Another thing to say about this game is population is OP, and this is another thing that I don't know how irrelevant this is going to be as the time goes on, because I know the developers are actively trying to not make power in numbers as strong as it is. So what does that practically mean? What I do, like I say, this is with my play style that I have in various other games. I don't like a lot of people. I don't like the Zerg. I kind of like this one to sit back and make a few strong people and have strong materials and have the best thing and have a bunch of people that I love. Which you can do that in this game, but it's kind of harder. Reason because the game is based on a card game, and just about any card game, you know that the more cards you have, especially if you can play them all at once, the biggest advantage you can have. I'm thinking about if I was playing Hearthstone and every card costs 0 mana and you have your whole hand and one person has 5 cards and I have 30, I will stomp them every time. It's kind of like it in this game. Say like these spiders. There's 6 spiders here. If I'm starting out, I don't want them 6 spiders to be starting a challenge with like 3 or 4 of my guys. Here I have 15 people. I will want that. I will want to at least like have 10 if I'm like starting out. 10, 11, 12. If I want to try to attack 6, six of these spiders because I'll be able to throw way more cards and do way more stuff to kind of prevent their cards to do anything. So you got to play according to the card game. There's strength in numbers. So you want to kind of focus on population in this state of the game. What I do personally, which is not something other people do, a lot of people like to get cabbage patch. A lot of people like to get pastures. A lot of people like to get a combination of them. With me, I kind of like just spamming pasture. As soon as the game start, I'll just fill up the 10 pastures and then start deleting them as I have other needs. Just so I can get a population up, so I can be able to win the card game. Because once you start out, you can't just stay here forever. Well, you don't want to. You kind of want to experience the game. You want to go out and explore and do stuff. But you can't do that leaving a few people at home while your main squad goes out, because eventually you're going to get attacked and you're going to lose the card game because you don't have enough cards. So you need a population. Even if the population is weak, I have people that I don't really care about. I kind of name my first people, the people I try to keep and level them up. Mary, oh, all these people right here that I named. I named just about all these people instead of like 3 of them, whatever. But I love these people. I named them. I plan to keep them. But this, these people are cannon fodder. I don't really care about them. What they do give me though is they give me an extra card, and the extra card can matter more than anything, just to win the card game. So yeah, population is king in the current state of this game. For how long, I don't know. So, but in the current state of the game, focus on population, and it'll get you very, very far. All right, another thing I'll talk about is quests. These blues things, and without spoiling it for you, you're gonna have to play a few times to kind of know what some of this stuff are. But well, I'll say the herbalist and the Dizody, or however you pronounce it. I'll talk about just these two. The herbalist is it heals you and gets rid of poison. And wherever these guys' name are, you go here to get rid of curses and hexes and any negative effects, whatever. So these two are helpful buildings. The other stuff are quests. When these pops up, sometimes, well, you might have the urge to rush and go to them, but you don't really want to do that when you first start playing, because your people are going to be weak, and generally these things have a chance to start a challenge that you will not be able to do, or you'll become very, very, very hurt if you do these challenges. I don't have any, but you will find, like, do I see any like little structures. I think they're called towers. I can't remember what they are, but they spawn a lot at the start of the game. And if you go to them, they always start a fight challenge. If you get a bad outcome, it'll either be a fight challenge. You go into this tower, they'll look around, and bam, some skeletons come out or some water creatures come out, and you have a fight. You have no other option, or you just might just find free loot. But when you start the game, depending on how you start, like I start the warrior start, so I would like tackle them on. But if you do the gatherer or crafting start, you don't want to do a fight challenge. So after you know what those buildings are, you'll generally know, okay, I will come back here later. So the point is, like this, this dragon. I can't deal with a dragon, so I'm not gonna go over there and start this quest. Uh, so I'm gonna do this later. So the point is, you don't have to rush to do these things. You know, take your time, get your research going, and don't rush to die. Another thing I was talking about, farming mobs. Farming any mobs, but a lot of people like to farm spider silk is an example. If at the start of a game, if you see some spiders that spawn around your lair, don't kill the lair. You can just kill the spiders over and over that come out the lair, and to get spider silk from them. I kind of like doing that with just getting experience, because doing quests give you, well, doing challenges give you experience, whether it's a challenge against a mob or a challenge like doing this dragon over here. I get experience. So there'll be points in the game where you're having a little lull, because say like I'm trying to craft heavy armor. This is what I did in this playthrough. I'll get heavy armor and I get a material and make sets of heavy armor for all my main party. So that takes a while, and every time I upgrade a resource to base my heavy armor on, I'll do the whole process again. So I have a lull time that I'll be waiting to craft all those heavy armors, and while doing so, instead of just sitting in my base doing nothing, I'll have my main party just what they're kind of doing now, just walking around and killing mobs or whatever like that. And if you have a whole lot of layers around your base, you have just a whole lot of mobs you can just walk to and kill, walk to and kill, walk to and kill, just to pass time, so I can get a lot of experience. Okay, here's those structures I'm talking about. These little chests right here in the start of the game. What I was talking about, it can be like skeletons or water creatures or whatever, or a fight will start out when you start your game. These little things right here, you might not want to rush to them depending on how you start or your play style, if you don't want to fight early on. And lastly, I'll talk about the mobs and challenges. Depending on what kind of start you have, you kind of have you would like to have a preference for some challenges over others, whatever. Like especially if you start gathering, I believe you get a hunter, and you know you have your gatherers, and those are good in hunting, because gathering influence how much damage you do in a hunting. So in the start of a game, you'll probably be going for these spiders or any other animal type mobs, but you might not play with skeletons because they don't have a hunting option when you attack them. They have sneak and tactical, so you probably will not do as well in those challenges as you would do with hunting. So that's one thing to keep mind, what kind of party you have, especially in a late game. Let's see. I see a raiders lair. If I don't have anything that can how to explain this, like gathering, if I have a gathering party with more gatherers than other classes, I wouldn't want to mess with this 5 skull, because I can't hunt them. I'll have to do a different challenge. I have to do a fight challenge, or a tactical, or a sneak challenge, and those classes will not be good in that. But if I have my warriors and crafting party, I will probably do a sneak challenge or an intelligence challenge against these guys, because I can do those challenges against them. I do well in those challenges. And you might be thinking, just straight up warriors, because it's 5 skulls, so you need your warriors. You don't necessarily have to have warriors to do these big old giant skull challenges. Say like this was a 5 skull beast layer or whatever, and it's gonna be some beast that's popping out. I can have a gatherer party in with hunters to come kill this layer by doing a hunting challenge. So kind of just know what kind of party build up you have and try to fight the best challenges you can to get the best outcome. Oh, and lastly, starving. Starvation is not that big of a deal. Like this party right here is starving, and I don't really care because the only thing starvation does is it makes you lose a little bit of HP. Sometimes I'll purposely starve my people, like starting the game when I'm trying to build pastures and they keep eating up the food before I get enough real quick, and I want to pump it out as quick as possible. I'll let them starve a little bit because it's okay if they lose a few health every turn. They're not gonna die no time soon. So don't worry about starvation unless you're about to get into a fight challenge or something like that, or at nighttime. At nighttime, I don't generally try to starve my people because I know fight challenges are coming because mobs are gonna come to me. Um, but during the day, if it's gonna save me time to just starve them instead of just trying to feed everyone, I would do that. And yeah, one more thing. I'll talk about food. I'm sorry, I keep finding other stuff that I want to mention. What am I doing? Food supplies. Oh, also, in the start of the game and then during lull periods, always have your people just eat your most easily supply food. So like if I was trying to maximize my food, I'll just have them eating vegetables right now, because I can get that easily and don't touch this other stuff. That's generally what I'll do. Matter of fact, I won't do the vegetables. I'll do this in the middle because it's more what's the word efficient. But I'll just have them eat one thing regardless because I don't need them to have all these extra stats if nothing is going on. But soon as nighttime falls and all the monsters start coming at you, depending if you're in your village or if you camp somewhere, I will go to this menu and turn all my food on so I can get all these bonuses when the people get attacked. So yeah, try to maximize your food, especially in the beginning of the game. In the beginning of the game, when I'm rushing pastures, you will not eat any of the vegetables in my village until I see someone gets real low in health P, and then I'll switch it back on. But yeah, that's all I can think of about stuff that I like to say just looking at this screen. I think the next video I'll tackle some of the advanced card fighting, the card game tactics. So that's it for this video.